G'day, this is Tim Webster, former host of Sports Tonight and various other misdemeanors. Here we go with Ox and Marko, and all I've got to say is, oh no.
G'day everybody, welcome to the program. Mark Allen here and of course David Schwartz, the Ox. Nice to see you.
G'day Marko. Where are we filming from today, or where are we recording?
We're not filming much today. We are recording.
From the Couple of Blokes, Couple of Beers studio.
Headquarters.
It's only just been built and...
That's how well we're going.
Yeah, we're going all right. Hey, just a quick one.
Yeah.
Got some petrol yesterday.
Yeah, that's standard.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
But I saw something I hadn't seen in a long while. There's a bloke who served me who had two front teeth that were pure gold.
You're joking.
Gold teeth. Have you seen gold teeth lately?
No, but I was going to ask, did you talk to him about it? Because I'm suggesting those two gold teeth were put in back in the 1970s.
No, he's only a young fella. He would have only been 30.
A 30-year-old
Yep.
with two gold
Yep.
teeth?
You know what? I like him.
It wasn't like a grill, was it? He wasn't
Just
wearing a grill.
two gold teeth at the front.
Can you remember when that grill
Yeah,
phase
yeah,
came
yeah.
out?
Yeah, I do.
And there were blokes wearing grills.
Yeah. You know the funny thing, I don't know when it took off, but the gold teeth, that was before porcelain or, you know, the dentics or the dental work is so good now.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get white pearly ones, aren't you?
Yeah.
You only get gold teeth if you want to make a statement.
Yeah, yeah.
I reckon if you're not a headbanger, a gangbanger, if you're in a gang, I reckon gold teeth work really well.
Yeah.
Or if your old man's a jeweller or your old man's a really wealthy dentist.
Have you ever... Oh, there's no reason why you'd ever do this. I don't know what I was going to say.
No,
have you ever Googled crazy mouth guards?
No.
No? Well, nor have I, but I'm saying it's not right. But I've saw it somehow, it's just come back to me thinking about the grills, because, when you when you see these crazies with a grill in there and, they used to look like it was ridiculous. I saw this slideshow of mouth guards, and in America they put messages on them, in gridiron, in their footy, college football and stuff.
Like killer or...
I'm going to kill you. Stuff like
as
that.
A message.
As a message. Yeah. So you can imagine there's an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman facing off against each other, and then one goes with a big cheesy grin that says, I kill you.
I kill you, yeah. Pretty good.
Have you seen them all?
I've seen a couple of them, yeah.
Google away.
But
Google away. It's hilarious.
When I was speaking to him, it was actually like, what have we found one, have we? Did you find one that quick? How good are you on Google?
Yeah, he's good. He's good like this one, and it's the shape of a dummy, like a baby.
Yeah,
a baby. It's like a baby. He's got the dummy.
That's good. But when you're speaking to someone with gold teeth, it looks like they've been eating, one of those, not white, not like a peppermint
a custard almost.
No, it's like gold paper. That's over
like
the top.
a chocolate coin or something.
Yes, like a chocolate coin.
They've got chocolate.
And it felt like saying, mate, clean your teeth. Gold is done, isn't it?
Was he proud of him? Was he just smiling from ear to ear?
He was like Bucky Beaver. He loved it. He loved it. He was proud as punch.
Whatever happened to Bucky Beaver?
I don't know what happened to Bucky. I think
Bucky Beaver, as a kid, I remember saying Bucky Beaver an awful lot when I was a child. I was either a bully or I really liked the cartoon.
No, but have a think about
it.
You never saw a beaver with good teeth.
That's a good point.
Every beaver had bucky teeth because they're gnawing on wood. So you've got to have bucky teeth.
While we're on this, this is one of the great evolutionary stories, and I want your mind because I know you're across this sort of stuff.
Yep.
Okay? So beavers...
I love them.
They love to build dams.
Yeah, I know they do.
And that's one of the reasons you love beavers.
Yeah, of course they do.
It's probably the only reason,
one of the great builders of all time.
They love building dams.
And they do it as a team.
That's right. But do you know this? A beaver can build a dam within 2 months of being on this planet.
What?
So how do they learn that skill?
Well, young beavers.
Young beavers
Baby
are
beavers.
great at building. So how does that work? Now, that is a million years of evolution. And when they pop out, it is inbuilt. It's like when you get a new Apple iPhone. It's just in there ready to go. You don't have to put anything in.
In fact,
that baby beaver can build a dam almost straight away.
That is unbelievable.
It's amazing.
But I always think, how does even a zebra know that when he's born or she's born, that she's got to stand up straight away within 10 seconds?
Yeah, that's right.
Of being born. How do they know that?
I don't know. I don't know that at all. Tell me this. You just learn to fly and you're flying from Melbourne to Sydney.
Yep.
How do the birds know when to turn? You know when they go in a flock?
Yeah.
And they make those crazy patterns. How the hell do they know to do that?
Melbourne to Sydney, the bird.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah. Mainly swans.
They're going up to...
It's a good point you bring up.
There's some of the stuff that is inserted into their tiny little brains. We've got a big brain.
Yeah.
They've got a minuscule, tiny little brain. Like the beaver brain would have to be the size of a jelly bean or,
All right.
or a Smartie or something.
So
and they already know.
We've got big brains, yeah?
Big,
Well,
huge.
how come when we're born, it takes us a year to stop sucking our thumb and wetting our pants?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that's all we can do. Like, how bad are we? Like, it's crazy.
Oh, it is. It's amazing.
It is crazy.
Just the way evolution is incredible. They reckon we've been around for 40,000 years. Birds, for instance, they've been around for a million years. 1
billion.
A million years.
Billions of years.
And it's just inserted. So in a million years from now, if we have the same ability as beavers and birds and anything else, what will we know to do straight away, do you reckon? Parallel park?
Search the web.
Search the web.
I don't know.
Search the web. What will happen?
No, because it's all to do with survival.
Yeah.
So if just say we lived in a land of gangbangers.
Right.
You know, and it's war.
It's war every day.
I think when you come out, you just got to learn to hide, or you got to learn to.
No, use some nunchucks. You just come out. There'll be little 2-year-olds going, woo! Things going all over the place.
When it comes to evolution, I think we've still got a fair way to go.
I reckon we got a million miles to go. Because is it true or not that we only use 10% of our brain or 20% of our brain? Is that a fact?
Well, most of the people I hang out with use less. I'll be honest with you. I'll be absolutely clearly honest with you. And we all know people like that.
Yeah, we do. Okay, let's keep moving, all right? Because otherwise we'll be bogged down for the rest.
We'll come back to evolution along the way. 'Cause there'll be some more evolution stuff.
Righto. Can we still be friends? It's a big part of what we're doing at the moment. I don't know, we're on a bit of a roll. Okay, so I notice things. You know, I'm driving around.
You are very, very observant.
I'm driving past Parliament House. Massive protest. A massive protest. God knows what it was. I don't know. I didn't even read. I know they're just being really annoying. Now, I want to ask you, okay? I want to ask you this. If you saw Trish and I on the TV, if you saw us on the telly, and we had a little placard, and we were walking around in circles, singing, chanting something.
Yep.
What do we want?
Want it now.
Clean streets. When do we want it?
Now.
All right.
Yep.
If you saw Trish and I doing that,
Streets.
whatever it might be, what do we want? No graffiti. When do we want it?
Now. All right.
If Trish and I were doing that, he caught us on the telly or you drove past, you reckon we could still be friends?
Yeah, it depends what you're protesting, right? Now, if you're
Just question 1A.
no.
Do you reckon protesters have got many friends?
No.
I don't think they do.
Only with each other.
Yeah, I think if you're a protester, the only people you're friends with are other protesters.
Other protesters or other causes. Have you ever felt compelled with an issue to go and protest?
No, I haven't. You've got to be passionate.
You've got to be passionate or you've got to be crazy.
Passionate or crazy?
And there's nothing wrong with craziness.
Yeah.
But never, ever, never, ever would I go, and I probably should get more invested personally in issues.
Can I give you a question just to test you out? Because I reckon you'll come to it straight away. There's been a lot of protesting on this planet.
Yes.
There is one person that we all saw who is possibly the most famous protester that's ever been. And once he did this one particular protest, no one ever saw him again. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do, and I've been there. Tenement Square.
How about that little guy? What a gutsy little character to stand in front of those tanks.
Yep.
He's the most famous protester in the history of the world, and no one even knows his name.
No.
Anyway.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Is he?
Yeah, no one ever saw him again.
Okay.
Unless he's in a,
so to
some
answer,
kind of jail somewhere.
In a jail. So to answer your question, no, we can't be friends if you're a protester.
Yeah, good.
But if you're protesting about graffiti,
this
is my number one hate. You know this.
Righto.
That is my number one hate
I know.
in society.
Can you please tell the story of when you caught a kid graffitiing your fence.
Oh, no.
Tell this story. It's a must, folks. Buckle yourselves in.
Well, this was a long time ago, and this is 1994.
It was a different time.
1995.
It was a different time when things could be done differently.
Kids were spraying fences at will. And my street was parallel to a train line.
And how proud of you of this house? It was one of the first things you ever bought in your life.
My
You were
first
that
big
proud.
asset. My first big asset. I got a big, long brick fence. My house is beautiful. I live with two other footballers. They boarded with me, Damien Gasper and Alistair Nicholson. And every Saturday, Sunday during footy season, we'd if we weren't out, we'd sit home, watch TV, put a movie on, and it was just
So
beautiful.
wholesome.
Beautiful.
What a
beautiful.
wholesome.
So we're
picture
sitting
you've
there.
just painted.
We're sitting there watching. I think it was Miscongeniality. In all seriousness.
Oh, my God.
All right. So you know I like Sandra Bullock. Anyway, so we're sitting down watching it, and I hear, psh, psh, psh. I said to the boys, "What's that?" Anyway, we sneak outside, and I see these two kids tagging my fence. And I had two access points, one around the front, one around the back.
Oh, mate.
And they got backpacks, and they're spraying my fence.
And stop. How fit and strong were you at this point in your life?
This is the middle of February. We've just done a full pre-season. I got muscles on muscles. I'm running 10 Ks in 37 minutes. Like
You're
I'm
going
fine.
to sleep with a Superman cape on.
Fair dinkum.
You what?
I am. This is as good as I'm ever going to be. so I thought. I said, Gassy, go around that way, and I'll go around this way. Anyway, so we went outside, and my dog barked, and as it barked, all of a sudden these kids, two kids, one went left, one went right, and I chased the one on the right. Now I'm fit. I've given him about a 40-metre head start. And this little kid, 16, 18-year-old, I don't know how old he was, he took off. All right, so we're going up Fordham Avenue in Kew. He gets to the first house over the fence. Then he jumps over the back fence, then over the side fence.
Oh, this is good.
I'm 2 fences behind him. Finally get closer to him, and I'm hurdling these fences like the cape's out. I'm over the top. I'm in my boxer shorts, and that's all. I hurdle the next fence, and I get him right beside the house. He just got over the front, boom, I've got him on the nature strip. And I tackle him and I bring him to the ground. This poor kid, I crushed him. Brought him down.
Don't call him a poor kid. He deserves everything he gets. He deserves
He's
it all.
got a backpack on, you know right? So I get him down and I've got my elbow on his jaw. I said, "What are you doing? You're breaking my fence. I'm sorry." I said, "You'll be all right, sorry in a minute." And I've got my hand on his throat and I opened it. I said, "What's in this backpack?" And I opened it up and he's got spray cans. And it was mainly grey and green, silver and green. I said, "Buggy you." "No, enough's is enough. You've been tagging." So I bring out 2 spray cans and I sprayed every hole in his body.
Up his nose?
Nose, ears, mouth, eyes, green and silver. Hair, and I unloaded the 2 cans on him.
I say well done.
No.
I say good work.
I still got the elbow on it. I said, "You come to my house again, and I'm dead." That is it. My house never got sprayed again. It was never ever touched. But it was the greatest therapy. If ever you catch someone spray painting your fence, just do that.
You've just
It was
made me feel
beautiful.
so good.
I was-
No, don't do that because, like, back in 1994, you get away with it. Today, you probably spend some time in jail. The way we're going these days, you'd be in trouble. That kid would take you to court, and you'd have to pay him $100,000 these
So
days.
now I feel really good, and it was one of the great days of my life.
I say well done. I say well done.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls.
These people want to put one of their agents in the pageant.
Do you have an agent in mind?
Now, I've been thinking the miscongeniality stuff, mate. I mean, come on, there's 3 footballers at home watching miscongeniality.
Well, actually, it might have been Pretty Woman.
Oh,
Sorry.
my
Because
God.
No, because Miscongeniality were watching in Bali the night the bomb went off.
Oh, hang on.
So we didn't, and we always
Hang on, was Miss Congeniality in Bali? Was that some kind of a pump-up movie to get out and about?
No. So what we done? so quick story. We were in Bali in 2002.
Yeah, well, then this is a somber story.
So, it's a kind of a somber story, but it's also a thankful story because we'd been having a drinking session that afternoon, and we're going home at 1 o'clock in the morning. So we're always going to have a drink and just relax until 10 o'clock. But there was about 12 blokes that were staying on, and they were going to go out to the nightclubs. And we always went to the Sari Club, which obviously got blown up.
Right.
So we decided to have a drink as a group, and we played a game I've never. So you get, I don't know if you've ever played I've never. You stand up and say, I've never been to France. If you haven't been to France, you have a drink. You have a drink. So anyway, so that game finished at about 7:30, and Miss Congeniality came on. And the boys were going to go out to the Sari Club because we used to get there at 8 o'clock at night, and they decided, no, we'll watch the end of Miss Congeniality.
Oh, don't tell me this show saved your life.
Well, it didn't save mine because we were jumping on a bus, but there was 12 blokes. There was Brad Miller and Stephen Armstrong and Stephen Phoebe and blah, 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 and all these guys that decided to hang around until 10 o'clock to watch the end of Miss Congeniality before they left.
You are joking. So
they watched the end of Miss Congeniality and they started walking to the Sari Club, and they got 200 metres to the Sari Club, and it goes up, and then their role was to basically pick up bodies. That was their role.
Oh, my God.
So we look back at that, and Miss Congeniality could have saved the lives of at least 3 or 4 of our teammates.
Just incredible.
So Sandra Bullock to me is a hero.
He's a god.
He's a hero and a god. And whenever I say Miss Congeniality, people laugh, but there's a hidden message behind it.
Right. So what movie were you watching before?
I think it was Pretty Woman. We like the soft movies. Do you like Pretty Woman? How good's that?
Pretty Woman's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Of all time.
And can I tell you this? I can tell you this.
Yes.
She wore a number of outfits in that movie.
The brown spotted dress.
The brown dress when
At
she
the
went
polo.
to the polo.
Unbelievable.
Was the most gorgeous dress and outfit
ever.
And very appropriate for the polo.
Of course it was.
Some
Until
of
she
those-
went, woo, 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 woo. What a movie.
Don't worry about the long boots. Don't worry about the outfit she was wearing on the streets. When she was a hooker. The brown
Not there's
dress
anything
and the
wrong with
polo
that. She was just trying to make a living.
Just magnificent.
Yeah, amazing.
What other skeletons you got in your movie bank here? What else? I mean, Miss Congeniality and Pretty Woman.
Yep.
They're not masculine movies.
No.
I'll put it that way. They're not movies that me and my mates who I played footy with, for instance, would watch an awful lot.
No,
so I need to explore this. What else you got up your sleeve?
Were you a Top Gun fan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Top Gun was a...
I got a need for speed.
Well, that was really the first tongue kiss in a movie.
What?
Yeah, the real first... Remember the close-up of Kelly McGuinness and Tom Cruise, that real tongue kiss?
You're telling me that was one of the first...
Tongue kisses, real tongue kisses, other than the blue movies, other than, Debbie and...
I'm trying to think. What year did that movie come out?
Well, early.
1980 something?
Yeah, it would have been 80s.
So you're telling me there haven't been any other big pashes...
Not close-ups
on the
like
silver
that.
screen?
Not close-ups like that. It was regarded as one of the great close-up.
Right.
So the new one, the new Top Gun, Maverick.
Top Gun, yeah.
Close to the best sequel I've ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, and I loved it. And my kids loved it.
Unbelievable sequel.
Yeah. And it's just cheesy American flag flapping in the background
Love it.
style movie.
Love it.
But it's so good you couldn't turn away. You came out of that movie feeling good about yourself.
86, the original Top Gun.
86.
Yep. So what's that? 14 and
You're right.
so that's
So,
we're talking 20.
so tell me this.
36 years later.
Remember the scene in that original Top Gun where they started singing that song? And they'd
I
serenade.
get that love and feel it. Yeah.
When I was in America, that became a craze. And you have these idiots in a pub.
Just singing.
Idiots, like full-on dills. They'd go up to a pretty girl and they would start doing it.
Come on.
And in America, it caught on, right?
Really?
So you would have two blokes would go up to a glamour
Serenade Glamour.
and start it off, and I promise you, by the end of the song, the whole joint was singing it. It was one of the most amazing phenomenons in America at the time.
If you can get that to happen, if you can get the whole bar to join in, you're a guaranteed lock. You lock it in.
At college in America, that was a thing.
You lock it in.
It was just enormous. And and then the whole joint would go clap. It was incredible to watch.
Did it work?
Well, it looked like I was working to me.
Did you?
No, I would never do that. I would
couldn't
never do it in a million
See,
years.
if you could sing,
Oh.
if you could sing, there's no way you couldn't pick up chicks.
If you could sing, if you could sing and you wanted to meet women, you'd go to a karaoke bar every single night of the week,
Yep.
and you'd be away.
Or you go to a piano bar and just start playing the piano or the guitar. Away you go. You could not miss. But I can't sing.
I've seen you drunk.
Oh, you're drunk.
And in front of a karaoke microphone.
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
Well, a woomera. I tried that. It's the hardest song ever. I tried singing that a couple
But
times.
it's one that if you saw the ball bouncing along the top of the words,
You're half a chance.
You're
but
half a chance.
No, the karaoke's hard.
Do you know what mine is?
What is it?
U.S. forces give an order. Because you don't have to be able to good. You don't have to
That's
sing.
good.
You can just growl it out.
Who's that?
Set
Midnight
back
Oil.
for your country.
Midnight Oil. You're good.
You can just do
But
it.
no one in America would have known that song.
No, I've only done it here when I'm blind.
You're having a couple of beers with a couple of blokes. This is Ox and Marko. And when you get a sec, we'd love you to subscribe and rate the podcast.
For this now, what I'm proposing next, I need a beer for, because I want to bring down the cone of silence.
Okay, done. I think we need the kind of
Couple of beers, please.
All right. Couple of heavy ones.
All right. Now, if we're talking about picking up women, I need to know. I'll give you my best, my little trick that I used to do when I was a kid.
Really.
But I want your best too. Now, I don't reckon you would have needed, because you were an AFL footballer and somebody who was on telly every week, so I can't imagine you had any kind of tricks. You just turn up and you were away.
You were living in Lubbock, Texas, as an Australian with an Australian accent, living with the quarterback of the Texas.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you didn't need help.
No.
And you look like like Tom Cruise with colour.
But I needed something.
Seriously.
No, I agree with you. But when I got back to Australia and I was just, Joe Blow, I still needed a trick. Sorry, I'll go first. All right?
Hang on, are we in the cone of silence?
Bring it down.
Yeah. Well, I'll slow it down.
Bring the double cone of silence if you don't mind. Right.
Now, this is to be shared with nobody.
This is nobody.
This is us only.
So if I ever got to talking to a girl, you buy them a drink, and at the start you think you got a little bit of momentum.
Yep.
Well, if that momentum just dropped off a fraction,
Yep.
and I'm thinking I was getting desperate,
Yep.
then I would just go into the Old Faithful.
What was the Old Faithful?
So my name was Mark Allen,
Yes.
and then I would tell them that I was the heir to the Allen Slolly empire.
Fortune. Snakes alive. Snakes alive. Strawberry cream.
So I would somehow weave,
That is
as a
unbelievable.
21-year-old, that I was the heir of that empire.
That
Allen's
is-
Lollies.
That is so good.
And it worked quite often. It worked a lot.
Well done.
Yeah, it was good.
That is so. Is it the
was
same
good.
spelling?
Yeah, ALLEN.
Yeah.
Allen's Lollies. Unfortunately, I could never see that girl ever again.
It was a one-nighter. No, so,
You're an AFL footballer. Everyone knows your face. You're on the footy show every second week.
no, but you know what girls say?
What?
I don't sleep with footballers.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
don't like footballers.
That's right.
And as soon as that happened, you knew you were a chance. But that's another story. Now, my trick was, and because back in the 90s and that, you never go by yourself. In fact, it's creepy if you go by yourself.
That's true.
So you always go with mates.
That's right.
All right. The only thing I had going for me, other than playing footy, was I had this memory. And you know what I'm like with names and
good.
numbers. I can remember names and numbers
You're actually the best.
ridiculously. Yeah. And if I haven't met a girl before, I make sure that one of my mates speaks to her first, if I'm keen, and just gets a little bit of reconnaissance.
So you'd send out the search party.
Search party, right? So send it out. So let's just say I come out with you, Mark, and I saw this girl over there that I really liked. I would get you to go over and introduce yourself and blah, blah, blah.
Tell her I was the heir to the Allen's Lolly.
If you missed out, then I'd wander in. But you've already come back and told me her name and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So I'd walk up and go, hello, Michelle, how are you? And she's going, how do you know? No, we met about 6 months ago.
That is genius.
So she thinks that I've taken such a liking to her 6 months ago.
You remembered her name?
I remembered her name, even though I didn't. Now, it's not like today, because my son tells me today that what they do is that once they find out the girl's name, they go straight onto Instagram, straight onto Facebook, and they look up who it is to make sure that they're legitimate and to make sure that none of their friends have hooked up with her before, to make sure that she's clear to go for.
You know the genius in what you're doing here, don't you? So you go up to them and you know their name.
Yeah.
So you know what they're thinking? God, I must have been drunk when I met this one. Right?
How do you
I
remember
must have
me?
been blind. So you've got them feeling a little bit guilty, and then you come in with the soothing tone.
That's it.
Their guilt, your soothing tone.
And-
you know their name.
And if my reconnaissance man is any good at his job, he also finds out a little bit of information. A little bit of information.
That is
Where do you live?
superb.
Bayswater. Oh, Michelle, you're from Bayswater, aren't you? Straight away. Straight
That
away.
is so good.
Key information. Memory in a nightclub
Oh,
when
genius.
you've had a couple is crucial. Cone of silence.
Would you reciprocate for your mates?
Oh, absolutely. I want to...
No, how could you reciprocate? You go forward, they know who you are, and you can't do anything.
No.
There's no reciprocation.
No. I'm a handballer.
Are you?
I'm a massive hand. I prefer my mates to be happy, and then I'll have no trouble. But I'll give the handball off.
So there's a lot of Pat Rafter in you.
A lot of Pat Rafter.
Yeah,
There's
so-
no Bourne and Tomic in me.
No.
There's no selfishness.
So just for that reference, Pat Rafter, the greatest team player. You can work it out for yourself, folks. Pat Rafter was the greatest team player
Ever.
in the history of Australian nightclubs. That's all I'll say.
Oh,
That's it.
That is
You
it.
can work it out.
Even though he was a single sport person playing tennis.
He was the greatest team man.
Greatest team man ever.
All right, that'll do us. That'll do
Cone of silence
us.
up.
That'll do us.
Now we can join everyone. Everyone can join us back in.
Back to normal programming. Just while we are, can you speak freely about actually who was the best on ground in the AFL back in the 90s in a nightclub scene?
Cone of silence up or down?
Nuts up.
Okay.
So you got to be actually,
All right.
got to
Okay.
feel comfortable talking
Well,
about this.
yeah, actually, I've got one.
Yeah.
And he was actually an opponent for many years.
Yeah.
A direct opponent, played centre half back.
Djokovic.
No, and then became a teammate.
Don't know. You got me.
Nicknamed the horse.
Oh, John Longmire.
No, the other horse, Craig Ellis.
Craig Ellis.
Now, Craig Ellis is one of the most beautiful human beings you've ever met. And I mean,
Yeah.
physically, he's just a beautiful specimen of a man. Untouchable. Untouchable. And what about his story of late?
Oh, is that the triangle bikinis?
Triangle bikinis,
Now,
now
kabillionaire.
worth $100 million, living in Monaco.
Yeah. And did it all through Instagram.
Yep.
He and his partner.
So, Craig Ellis, hats off to you, the
Unbelievable.
number one rooster that I had the pleasure of being a teammate and an opponent with. And in the world of,
That's amazing, isn't it?
oh, he was...
To make millions and millions of dollars selling bikinis and...
No, I was not impressed with his ability to pick up. No, he could look at girls and make them melt.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's an amazing looking human being.
Right, time to spin the wheel. It's my turn. You're
Here
spinning
we
the
go.
wheel.
Spin the wheel. All right, it is short joke.
Just a short joke.
A short joke. You got a short joke.
I do have...
We only put that topic on last week.
Does that mean short in stature or
No.
in time?
Well, you can tell a short joke, or you can tell a small lasting joke.
I think midgets get too big a run with you and I, so let's just call it a short joke.
I think they only get a
You
little
ready? What's made of leather and sounds like a sneeze?
I don't know. What is? I don't know.
Shoe.
terrible.
I love it. That's a ripper. All right.
Oh, if the shoe fits.
We'll catch you next time.
That was good.
We should have a little midget joke thing up there as well at some stage.
What jokes about you reckon jokes about midgets is a fertile joke? Let's get those complaints ready.
Oh, that's funny.
That'll do.
We get the Midget Association of Australia complaining. That'll be okay.
All right,
That'd be good.
It'd be only a small
That's a
complaint.
new...
And there it is, another episode done. And who would have thought? Another midget joke. You are so predictable, boys. Couple of blokes, couple of beers with Ox and Marko. We will have another episode next Wednesday. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we would love it if you'd rate and review it. Every time you do that, it really helps, and we really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll always get the latest episode each Wednesday. And if you do like it, maybe share the podcast with one or two friends. Just send it to them on text or on WhatsApp or on socials or whatever it may be. It's really helpful. And if you see anything you think the boys should chat about, send us a message, maybe an audio message, and we'll get you on. Couple of Blokes, Couple of Beers executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design, Daryl Misson from loudzebra.com.